Welcome back to Cooking with Michelle. I'm Joel Gilly. We have Michelle Estrada from the North Carolina Cooperative Extension with us here today. We are in your beautiful demonstration kitchen.
Love it.
At the Maxwell Center, and we are making another beautiful looking recipe.
Oh my goodness, this is sweet potato chowder.
I'm excited.
And it is really, really good, healthy, and we're even using bacon.
I'm excited about that, and also the fact that North Carolina is such a huge sweet potato producer, so you can always find some good local sweet potatoes
Any time of the year.
Any time of the year, pretty much. So I'm going to wash my hands. This is a great time for you to wash your hands too, and we'll let you talk about the recipe.
That's right. So we are very excited about this recipe because it has so many vegetables that are so good for us. But we have the super vegetable, I think we call it, and we're going to need some kale. We're also going to need a yellow onion, but that's going to be depending on your preference. So whatever you kind of onion you want, you can choose that onion. And we're going to need a sweet potato. It's around 3 cups, but with one big sweet potato, you will be okay. And then we're going to need some carrots. We're going to need half and half. We're going to need some chicken stock, and I used no salted added, so I love that one because then I can control the sodium. Then we're going to need a little bit of salt, a quarter of a teaspoon, but that's optional. We're going to need some pepper, we're going to need some sage, and we're going to need nutmeg, a little bit of garlic, and of course bacon.
You already minced the garlic for us, so half the hardest part is done.
You got it.
All right.
So the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to start cooking our bacon. Okay. So this is the time when everybody comes to the kitchen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So we're just going to start putting the bacon in our.
All right. I got to figure out your fancy.
I know.
Your fancy oven here.
So and then we want to do like a medium high.
Okay. Like that.
And we'll just put the bacon there. Do you need this maybe? No, you got it.
Maybe a little bit. And so you've basically just taken the bacon and cutting it up into small pieces.
And basically what the bacon is going to help us to, it's going to be a topping for our soup or chowder.
Okay.
And also, I forgot to mention, we're going to use pepitas or pumpkin seeds to put on top of our chowder.
Cool.
So that's going to be really, really, really good. Okay. So what we're trying to do right now, we're going to make like a bacon crumbs. And I know you can buy them at the store, but it's nothing like getting your kitchen smell so good, right?
Absolutely.
So I can help you with that while you start working with the vegetables.
Okay.
So what we're going to start doing, you choose whatever you want to do, the sweet potato,
we'll start with
the
carrots.
Okay. So what we need to do, we just need to chop the carrots, and maybe we just need one because we need half of a cup.
Okay.
We have a lot of cutting today for Joel.
Woohoo!
And always remember, when you're making a soup, be sure that all your cuts are even so they cook the same way. And Joel is not, he's slicing the carrot. We were going to chop the carrots, but that's okay.
Oh, my bad.
You can chop the carrots if you want. It's more work.
What did you want? So you want dices?
Let's see. This is going to be a new technique. This is going to be Joel's technique.
I did not even pay attention. I was just slicing the carrot.
And then I feel bad, and I said, "Do I say anything or not?" And
yeah.
But you know that carrots are a very tough vegetable, so it's going to take longer. And actually, with these recipes,
it's going to take twice as long for me to cut this carrot up now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, so like that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
You're doing good. So you see why it is so important to know different knife skills and cutting techniques? Because we're actually, when we know how to cut it, we save time, right? So like you say right now, It's going to take me forever.
She's trying to be like, she's trying to turn this into a positive.
It is a positive thing. This is a learning
It's a
opportunity.
what is it that Bob Ross used to say? It's a happy mistake or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
That's correct. So one of the things, Joel, that when we're cooking a soup, one of the biggest problems for me is to find soups that are low in sodium, okay? So this is actually a soup that is around 500 has 500 milligrams of sodium per serving. So it is kind of high. And if you notice when it's time, like when it's getting cold or things like that, what do?
You want soups.
Or we open a can, right?
Yeah.
So and what's happening with those cans, like they taste really good. Lately, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're putting more sodium, that they taste really good. But that's the problem, that they're very high in sodium. So that's why it's important to make our own soup. Okay.
Is that enough?
We got, no, I think we need a little bit more. So what I will do, just cut the top and the end of the carrot. Okay, cut it in half. That's kind of dangerous. So cut it in the other way, half.
Okay, like that?
And then you can do what you were going to do. You see how it's easier?
Yeah.
And then you can cut those two in half again, like lengthwise. And it will be so much easier to chop. So we were talking about sodium, and I was saying that because actually the bacon that we're using as a topping in the pepitas, we don't need more salt because
Makes sense.
It's already there. And I bought low sodium for bacon, so that is another way to reduce. But again, you know, this is your soup. When you make your soup, you just add the ingredients that you want to add, especially if you don't have high blood pressure. But always we need to be aware, and this is the good thing about that's perfect, making our own soup, that we can control the ingredients that we put in our soup. Okay, so now do you want to do the onion?
That's fine.
Okay.
How are we doing this onion?
So we're going to chop the onion.
I hate this.
No.
I hate the cutting part.
No.
How would you like me to chop this onion?
Small. Okay.
So we're gonna cut it halfway through.
Okay, remember that we need to get rid of this part so you can have a flat surface.
Yeah, so I'm gonna cut it. But then I'm gonna cut it in half.
That's right.
Yeah.
From the root. Okay. And if you want to put your trash in here, you can.
Cool. God, bacon is smelling so good.
I know, right? So just peel your onion now.
I guess I could have used that bowl for that too, but it's all right.
It's okay. See, you're an expert doing that. The onion, you don't have a problem anymore.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
So the bacon is almost ready. I had to actually turn this down a little bit because it was going too fast.
This is the fun part of the onion. You get right down to the very end,
I know.
and you're like,
And I always like, if it's too small, just cut it in a different way.
yeah.
You know, the most important is to keep you safe.
Yeah, that's the truth. All right. There's our onion.
Okay, perfect.
Do we need all the onion?
The whole onion.
Okay.
Yes. And I was telling our viewers earlier that I'm using a sweet onion. And if you're going to notice this, when we try this recipe, you're going to notice that this is kind of like a sweet soup, but then the kale is bitter, so you're going to like taste all these flavors.
Yeah.
So if you think that you need another type of onion, you can always use another, like maybe a white onion will give that strong flavor that you're missing in the soup.
Yeah.
But I think it's really good with the sweet onion. And that way you don't cry.
It's good to know.
You don't normally cry when you're cutting the onions,
No, I
right?
don't.
Okay, I think this is ready. So I want to show that we got a lot of foam in here, but it's part of the grease. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna move this to our bowl in here, and I have a paper towel. So I'm gonna get rid of all that grease for right now. Because remember, this is the saturated fat. So this is the one that we want to try to avoid, okay? So do you want to start peeling the sweet potato?
Okay. I get to use this fancy peeler.
Yes. And I wash all the vegetables. And just remember, when you are working with tough vegetables like sweet potatoes, you really need your brush. So, because I have done like kind of like experiments with children that I told them, okay, go and buy the wash the sweet potato, and they wash it, and when they come back, I use the brush, and I say, oh, you see, I thought you wash it.
Yeah.
But it's not really like, if you don't use a brush, we have all that dirt or soil.
Soil.
Yeah.
The correct terminology.
That's
there.
right.
I thought the soil just added fiber.
And other things.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a few more, so I'm going to turn this off.
All right.
Okay. So now we're going to cut that the sweet potato in cubes.
Okay.
What I will do, I will slice. Oh, you can
Slice
do
it in
that.
half.
And then just cut like maybe thick slices like this.
Okay.
Okay.
That was a little bit lopsided, but it's all right. We're gonna make it.
Are you
We're gonna
putting
make
the
do.
flat? Just remember, don't mix your vegetables.
Hey, look. You deal with the bacon over there.
Okay.
I'm running out of room on the cutting board.
Just use your knife and move yourself on this side. I'm sorry that I didn't give you more space. You sound just like a husband. Gosh.
This is good.
That's how you cook with your wife?
No. I know. I just tell her to get out of the kitchen.
Oh, I see now. How nice.
Look, you go sit down and watch TV. I'll have your food in a minute. Are these good sizes, with the exception of this one that's much larger than the rest of them?
I will keep them this.
That size? Okay. So we're going to go like this.
So what I'm doing right now, I'm getting rid of all that grease, so just be very careful. And just remember, because this is the saturated fat from that bacon, and we're trying to avoid those fats. The fat that we are going to be using to cook our onions are going to be from olive oil, and that is a monounsaturated fat. And I don't really want to wash my pot, not because I'm lazy,
It's all right.
but because there's good flavor there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm just trying to get rid of that saturated fat. And I know some of you may say, just be careful, Joe. They may say, well, but I want that fat. You could cook the onions with that fat. But again, in here we're trying to do it as the best way we can to do it in a healthier way.
Good?
Perfect.
Okay.
So I'm going to start putting the olive oil in here, and you need like a tablespoon. Okay. And then after that, I'm going to turn it in a medium heat, and we're going to start cooking our onions. I am pressuring you.
No, I'm good.
You're good. That's good. I was just trying to use her time wisely.
We're good. We all good.
That's good. And you're doing so good. Even when he was trying to be mean to me. It's Friday. Poor Joel. He's tired.
It's been a week.
You know, you're going to have a weekend. You can rest and
It's
relax.
true. Very true.
And remember, we don't get upset in the kitchen.
No, we don't.
We enjoy every moment. Just like you do at home.
Exactly.
Okay, can I have the onions?
Yeah.
Because now I'm going to...
All right.
Do you want to use that
Sure.
spatula and just the onions?
Should have started with the onions first.
I know.
Put them in here?
Uh-huh, yes. I didn't know that you were going to mix everything and then it was too late.
Well, I did run out of room on the cutting board, as you can
I
see.
know. It was my fault.
No,
I
it's
shoulda
not your
gave
fault.
I should have gave you a bigger.
It's all good. There's no problem that we can't fix.
That's right. So remember, always when you're doing your onions or your garlic, just be sure that you don't burn your... And this is another thing that right now, you know, we're doing TV and it's different, but if I was doing this at home, I love to cut everything first and then I will have everything ready. Now we can add the garlic.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you do it because now it's all yours.
Okay.
So when the onion and garlic is ready, like translucent, we're just going to start adding the our seasoning.
Do we need to do anything to the kale?
No,
Okay.
actually, I love that question because the kale is so tender that we don't put the kale yet. So while we're cooking our soup, we're gonna, I'm already wash it, so we're just gonna chop it. Do you think we need a little bit more heat or we're good?
I think maybe just a tad bit more.
Okay.
There we go.
And
Now
right
we're getting the sizzle.
Yes, and right now, like we always say, this is the time where we're smelling between the bacon
The
and
bacon,
the onion.
honestly, is like...
I wasn't
smelling
hungry
amazing.
yet, but now I am hungry.
Yeah. Michelle made a crucial mistake in the kitchen by not cooking, like, you always have to cook some bacon for the chefs.
That's right.
Just a little bit extra that you get to, you know, quality control.
Oh my goodness.
But
I'm telling you, we don't normally cook bacon in
No, we
this
don't.
kitchen. So the other day when I was cooking bacon, I started getting a text like, okay, what are you doing now? You think that's good?
I think so. They're getting translucent.
So what we have in here, we have 1/4 of a teaspoon of each one of these seasonings, and we have salt, we have pepper, we have sage, and nutmeg. And you can always use fresh nutmegs if you want. Okay, so we're just gonna mix everything really, really good.
That's already smelling.
Mm-hmm.
That's seasoning. It smells good.
It's not amazing when you start
Yeah.
adding, and you know, some people, they ask me, oh, but why you only put 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt when I use salt? I'd rather just to do 1/4 of a teaspoon, and then if I need to add another 1/4 of a
Yeah.
teaspoon, I will do it. But
You can always add. You can't subtract.
that's right. Okay, what do you think? Are you ready?
Yeah.
So we're gonna add the carrots and the sweet potatoes.
Okay.
And with this recipe, you can always add a little bit more vegetables, or always exchange your vegetables if you don't like sweet potatoes or something. In my case, sweet potatoes are not my favorite. I'm learning how to eat them differently, but I like it in soup.
Okay.
So I'm excited. So now we're going to add 4 cups of chicken stock.
Ooh.
Getting excited.
Yeah, I'm spilling it everywhere, but it's all right. Also, Michelle, I know it's not your fault, but your kitchen is hot today.
I know. We're going to have to complain about that. I am hot today. So we're going to bring these to boil.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to put all the heat now. And after it's boiled, we're going to simmer for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Now, just remember, we have a gas stove, and it takes 10 minutes for us. But in other stoves, it may take 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
what we really wanted to have in here is that the sweet potatoes are soft.
Okay. So we're gonna put the lid on it.
You can.
Okay.
Yes,
Keep a little bit of that heat in.
that's right.
All right. So we'll see you once we've simmered.
Yes.
How about
that's
that?
good.
So we're gonna let this boil, and then we're gonna put it on a simmer. We'll
For
see you in a
10
minute.
minutes.
We are boiling.
Yes.
So we're gonna turn it down now to a
let's
simmer.
Just put it simmer. And I'm gonna put my timer for 10 minutes. If I can do this. Okay, now my timer is ready. And
Cool.
what we can do right now, we can start cutting the
Do we need to
kale.
cover this?
You can.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do, like this is a very tough part.
Stalk,
okay?
yeah.
So you can use your knife if you want, but I really just like
Just
to
pinch it
use
off, yeah.
my hand. And that is gonna help you also with the flavor. And if you feel like something is too tough in here, just don't even use that piece. Because like I say, kale has a very strong flavor.
Now you're making it smaller.
Yes,
Okay.
it's small. Just remember, this is going to be very soft in your soup. Well, no, not really soft because we're not going to cook it for a long time. We're just going to, at the end, we're going to add it for 5 minutes or something. You know what I forgot?
What's that?
Or half and half.
Do we need to add that now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and we're going to mix it a little bit. So
Okay.
okay,
And really now we're just letting this simmer
right.
until those sweet potatoes are
Get soft.
not hard. Yeah.
That's right.
Cool.
Okay, and we can and see you in a little bit because we're gonna be.
Yeah, we're just gonna pinch the kale apart here and let this thing simmer for 10 minutes. So we'll see you in a minute. All right, so we've had our soup simmering for 10 minutes now. And we, first thing we want to do is kind of like try to cut one of these and just make sure that our, like that.
Are they soft?
Yeah, that one cut fine. So
Okay, perfect.
we're making sure that our sweet potatoes, by the way, are mushy and not hard.
And you know, we did it in 10 minutes,
Yep.
but again, you know, it's gonna depend on your stove.
Yep.
So now, this is a question for you.
Okay.
I have a hand blender,
Okay.
and if this is a chowder, and chowders normally they're not creamy,
Yeah.
like if you were eating a, you know, something more creamy.
Yeah.
So, do you want to kind of blend some of the vegetables
Well, yeah.
so it gets
I mean,
a
I'm
little
never
bit
going to
thicker?
turn down an appliance
Okay.
that makes my
so
life easier.
Be very careful.
Okay.
You just turn it on over there,
So put
and
it-
it's like a number 1, I think. Okay. So.
And I'm just going to push the button?
Yes.
Okay, we're good.
It's a fun toy, right? You just stay on the bottom because that way you don't. And this is up to you. Like you can have your chunks of vegetables, or you can blend some of the vegetables, and you will see that it gets a little bit thicker there. Okay. And that's up to you, Joel. You stop when you want.
Oh, I'm the determining factor here?
Yes.
I don't know. You've made it before. Are we good?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Okay.
Okay. So now.
Guess we could like look at it.
Now we have the kale in here. Like you still have some chunks.
Yeah.
But it's but like I said, it's up to you. If you want to blend the whole thing, you
No,
can.
I'm good with
but,
it.
So now we have our kale, and we're gonna add the kale,
Okay.
and we're kind of like mix a little bit, stir a little bit to see. It's called, the recipe calls for 2 cups, but this is up to you. Okay. So what we want with the kale can be like tough. So we want also to get a little bit softer. And the magic of your soup, if you taste the soup at this time, it doesn't really have a lot of flavor. It's full of vitamins. You have vitamin A, you have vitamin K, and you have vitamin C there, and potassium. So you can ask for a better soup.
Yeah.
But the flavor is not there. But what is happening with, and just turn the heat a little bit. What is good, a little bit more, I think.
Okay. Whoops.
What is going to happen right now, I mentioned it before, you have all sweet flavors. So right now you have the kale, and the kale is bitter, and and especially because we were pinching everything and the flavors come out. So that's what we want right now. We want the soup to grab those flavors.
Yeah.
And of course to make it not that tough.
Yeah.
Do you think we can put more?
We could probably use a little bit. I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you like kale?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
And it looks so pretty. The green, it changes.
Yeah. The only thing that I don't want to do is, I feel like right now we've got a good balance of color.
Right. And everything, remember, when you're cooking for your family, this is about how it looks.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but even if you're not very traditional, with your Thanksgiving dinner, this can be part of your Thanksgiving dinner because we're using sweet potatoes and carrots and kale, and it's a pretty soup.
Do you want to put more in there?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
We can always use these for a salad for lunch
There you
or
go.
something. So
All
it's
right.
looking amazing. Like I said, we're just gonna wait until the first, like when it starts boiling again, and then
Okay.
we will be ready to serve.
There we go. It's boiling.
So do you think the kale, I cannot really see, but the
I
kale
feel
is
like
softer?
it's broken down some. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think so?
Yeah, we'll wait a little bit.
Okay.
So because we don't want, and again, all this is depending on your the way you like your vegetables.
Yeah.
Some people, they like it very tender. Some people, they're like, no, I want them to be
Harder.
harder. Yeah. I was looking for the word.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so we can turn off the heat, and
Okay.
we can go to the other side. And let me put the bacon in this small container. I'm already drained the bacon in here. So we'll just go like this. I don't know if this is a big. And look at how much grease we.
Oh yeah, on the napkin there.
So we got grease that I got it from the pot. Remember when I cleaned it? And now we have more.
Yep.
So, and look at my hand. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can serve 6 people with this soup, and it will be around of a cup, I think a little bit more. And then the calories, it's amazing, 288.
Are you good with pepitas and bacon?
Yes,
Okay.
please. It just looks so pretty, right? Also, with the fat, we have a total fat of 11.7 grams, but the saturated fat is only 3.8. So not too high, and even when we're using the bacon. For sodium, 509 milligrams. Then we have the carbs, 37.3. So this will not be a good recommendation if you're diabetic or diabetic.
Diabetic.
Yeah, diabetic.
Yeah.
I was trying to
Little
hold it. Yes. So because we know that sweet potatoes are very high in carbs. But the good thing about sweet potatoes is that they're very high in fiber. So that really is good. Be careful because that thing is really high. And then we have sugars, very high in sugar, 24.6. And the protein, while sweet potatoes, they don't have a lot of protein, they have a little bit.
Yeah.
But between the bacon and the sweet potatoes, we get 8.5 grams.
Our sweet potatoes are like the perfect consistency. They're nice and mushy. We like that.
You're a good chef.
I don't know about all that.
I cannot even hold my plate. This is, oh, it is so hot. What do you think?
This is really good.
It is too hot.
It's warm.
Okay.
I love a good soup. When the weather gets cold. And this is amazing. I mean, this is like
A party in your mouth.
it's like fall in my mouth. I mean, it really
Yes.
is. Like, because you got a sweet
fall
potato.
fest.
It's like a fall festival soup. But it's really good.
Okay, I'm scared because it looks like
You
it's
just
very
gotta,
hot.
yeah, you just gotta blow on it, cool it down.
But did you know what I mean? It's like between the bacon, it's like salty, and then you have these sweet flavors. The pepitas. It's just
No, it's
good.
very good. This is really good, y'all. Seriously, give this recipe a try. You know, when you're looking for a nice soup, it's easy to go grab a can. But like,
Nothing like this.
there's nothing like a good homemade soup. It's really not that long of a recipe. You know, some soups take a really long time. This is not that bad of a recipe. There you go. A little too warm, but it's all right. She figured it out. And this one, I'm telling you, like for a good fall soup, like you said, a Thanksgiving soup even, like
Beautiful, beautiful soup. And delicious. And I think children would love this.
for those who don't like kale, it's not bad.
No,
That's the nice thing about it. I just got a pepita too. That's good.
but I think with the kale, because the soup is so sweet, it really brings
Yeah.
the flavor down from the kale.
And that bacon too, like it's one of those things where like the more you eat it, you're like, oh, there's a little bit of bacon. That, yeah.
And when you get the bacon, it's like, oh, this is
Oh.
so good.
Oh man, this is amazing, Michelle. You've done it again. You found us a great recipe, a healthy recipe to try. If you have a question about this recipe or any of the recipes, you can reach out to Michelle here at the
Yes,
Cooperative
please.
Extension. If there's something you want us to try, she's got a lot of recipes and she can find something that's probably a healthy alternative to something that you already eat. So
Yes, and we always try to, taste or test the recipes
Yeah.
so we can reduce those, the amount of calories or sugars or the sodium.
yeah, we're gonna go finish this for lunch, and we hope to see you guys again next time right here on Cooking with Michelle.
See you next time.